Hello there and welcome to the Galio Chronicles, a series where we play our first ever ranked games and our first ever Galio games at the same time. And also we sometimes look very similar to a particular YORICK skin, and we might even say that the YORICK skin is indeed just a Galio skin in disguise. You might think it's definitely not Galio, and you would be right, because it's definitely not. Okay, it's definitely a YORICK skin. Watch this fight, by the way. In the ensuing outcome, you might think that Annie would do damage to me, but you gotta understand I am Galio. And that is her mistake, and that is why Hermander, as they say, right? Herma Steak. What if a steak was named Herma? What if a steak was named Miss? Miss Steak. That sounds like something you wouldn't want to do if you were a tree. Then again, you might, because after all, mistakes serve for a good learning experience. Yes, indeed. So, you know, there's value in them. You know, value plus, value select plus, something like that. Who knows what the future holds and who knows what the present holds? Certainly said I. The bear once thought to himself, yes, indeed. You thought I didn't know where I was going with that. But of course I knew. The second I walked into that bear trap, I thought to myself, ow. And that is why we are here. And that is why Jana is there, running for her life. From Galio and Galio 2.0. But now Galio's running for his life from Tristana 1.0 and Nunu 1.0. And then Galio dies. How could this happen to Galio? Why did this happen to Galio? Is Galio's ult going to do anything here? I guess we'll never Galio know. We'll never Gali know, I should have said. Oh well, sometimes, listen, sometimes you say something and then end post you think of maybe a better way that it could have been said, but there's no way to go back in time and tell those cow scientists, like I'm saying, they really got to start doing their job. Yeah, I mean, this science ain't going to advance itself unless the bovine population really starts to get a hankering for discovery. And that sounds like something that would do the world a great service. So I think they should do it, you know? Ain't nothing left but to think about it and plan it out and get all the resources to be able to do it and all the manpower and then, you know, take all the time, all the years or whatever, maybe generations to figure out how to time travel and then just do it. It's a very simple 60-step process, okay? And it only takes maybe, I don't know, 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years. Nobody really knows the time scale for figuring out time travel, okay? After we figure out time travel, will there even be time scales? Will there be an 80 carry follow-up to me flashing on Jana and chasing her down and hitting her with a bunch of CC and taunts? Or will she think that I'm not going to commit to this kill and therefore not be in range? Well, I guess only time will tell. I guess at this point of the tower dive, I've come to terms with the reality of the situation. And that is that me and my team are on such different wavelengths that we know the outcome of this game. We really, really do. In fact, the fact that they are destroying our Nexus means that we know the outcome even better, right? Through some sort of deductive reasoning of sorts. Yes, indeed. 2 Galios fighting 1 Pantheon in a dome of fantasy. You know, you see what I'm getting at? Oh, yes. I bet you Yorick would like to hear that on a Sunday afternoon. Wouldn't you, Yorick? Speak to me, Yorick, like you wouldn't know that I think you can speak to me. Even though you are not exactly the most of sentient beings, you are indeed a amalgamation of thoughts and ideas from a series of rioters who then wrote those ideas down, presumably on a notepad, and translated it into some sort of character story and a bunch of animations and models and pictures that are really just top-of-the-line artists put together to make a beautiful execution on Galio and Galio 2.0. My 2 favorite Galios in all of the first 2 evolutions of Galio in the deep blue sea. I can't say that for Out of the Deep Blue Sea because, as you know, there are different variations of Galio. There's a different number of variations depending on who is land-based and who is sea-based. And there's even a couple species of flying Galios, believe it or not. That's where they got the inspiration for his ultimate ability. So you thought I was going to say ult there and just leave it in layman's terms, but nay, I will say the whole thing. Ultimate. Ha ha ha. You cannot stop me. Ultimate.